Hi Virgo, welcome to February and welcome to Aquarius season. Yeah, you are gonna be in this zone, right Virgo? You're just gonna know. You won't even need to say anything. You'll see things, you'll understand. And I think the key to this season really is silence. Silence. Aquarius season, Mars is in Sagittarius. That's go, go, go energy. There's going to be a lot of energy. Put that energy to a lot of good use. Just do. Mars in Sagittarius is, I don't really need to think about it. I don't have the time to think about it. If I don't shoot right now, I'm going to miss the spot. It's living in that confidence. Again, not a lot to say about it. Just do it. Just do it. Mercury, your ruling planet, is in the sign of Aquarius. This is not only go, go, go energy. This is observing and intelligently analyzing what you're doing. Every aspect of your life. Work, home, family, partner, relationships, etc. And really being quite detached. And I think now is a really good time for you, Virgo. Do you want to go? Okay, maybe you have to go. Now is a really good time for you, Virgo, to think about what you have been doing this past decade and see how it is that you can change all of it. First card up is the Hermit card. So you know how I was saying that you're just gonna know? Your intuition this month, Virgo, is going to be so on point, so true to the Hermit, so necessary for you to just pull away from the crowd right now. Get to a real place of comfort with yourself, Virgo. Take that time away from the madness. It's really a time to do a lot of soul searching. This isn't just about spending time with yourself or, getting rest, etc. There's a lot of soul searching that's supposed to take place when this card comes up. The Hermit is for sure a recluse, but he isn't reclusing for no reason. He's reclusing so as to create pathways of knowledge to come back and forth. Like, he is in between realms. He is in between worlds. The Hermit is his rite of passage is access to information that not everyone can have or not everyone can handle. What you are given this month is an intellectual ability to process everything you come across, which is going to be so in line with your truth. The trick to that, though, is to do the reclusing, the hermiting, etc. All the rest of it. You're gonna find February means pulling away, getting organized, getting your thoughts in order, getting to the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are. 6th house. You guys rule the day-to-day workings, service, healing, almost this mercurial telepathy, right? There's a need for you to pull away a little bit and get these whole different kind of downloads from this Mercury in Aquarius energy, which is highly intellectualized information. And when you're vibrating at that level, you've got to be very careful of your energy. That illumination sometimes is too much for some people. They can't handle it. They start freaking out. And next thing you know, you're like the bad guy. Be very careful of who you surround yourself this month. I think understand that there is a certain level of illumination that is required from you this month. Next month we go into your full moon, March. So really use this month, I think, to get as mentally organized as you can. This also is what, you know, this is also a phase, a period. This is a time, a pause break in this month, or this month is asking you to have so early on in 2020 to maybe use the Aquarius new moon to think of innovative ideas, think outside of the box, future planning, future mapping, etc. That's really authentic energy. That is, I don't give a fuck, right? I am Virgo, I am the hermit, I don't give a fuck. I need to take my time out and go and process things and figure things out so I can come back. And the hermit is no less, he's a genius, right? So take your time out, go and illuminate yourself first and foremost before you can come down and illuminate everyone else. But get quite honest and get quite true to yourself. Your energy needs to really, really, really be on your own right now, because you see that lamp. He uses it to illuminate the whole world. But first and foremost, he's got to be illuminated himself. And that is where the magic comes from. Once you've illuminated yourself, 5 of Cups, 8 of Swords. There will be a Virgo full moon in March on the 9th. This is Aquarius season. The sun has gone into Aquarius. Right off the bat, we know that there is a certain amount of investing this month that you're going to have to do in yourself, nurturing yourself, illuminating yourself, taking the time out for yourself, etc. Whatever spills this month, know that it was in your best interest that it was spilled. Just because there's a cup in front of you, if it's filled with poison, you don't need to drink it. You know what I mean? Be grateful that it's spilled. Whatever you have left is more than enough for you to build on. I just find this so surprising. 2 cups, 8 swords. Please don't hold yourself back, Virgo, by thinking about the things that had spilled. This isn't necessarily things that are going to happen this month. I just feel like this month might illuminate how this might be something that really needs to be overcome and turned into something to overcome finally. So by the time of your full moon, you're fully aware of this aspect of yourself, perhaps, Virgo, and you can take this mature approach about it, which is to really understand it. And this is analysis paralysis even. This is so Virgo, like, okay, whatever is not progressive, Virgo, you don't have the time for it anymore. So this 8 of Swords, very stuck energy is illusionary, and we have to bear that in mind in this month, okay? Aquarius energy in Mercury is so forward thinking. If you wish to, you can recreate your life entirely. And I do think it is perhaps essential for you to bear this in mind as 5 of Cups, 8 of Swords. This is stagnation, okay? And fixed air, stagnation is suffocation. So be very careful not to suffocate the new, the innovative. In the tarot, Aquarius is the star. That is a vast expanse of possibilities. This, however, is very limited behavior. And it's like I was saying in the Aquarius new moon videos, we don't have time for limited behavior. And as honest and as disciplined as you are right now, the further you'll get. It really is a time for no emotional kind of, what is the word? No emotional attachments or emotional gratification from holding yourself and binding yourself unnecessarily. Nobody can bind you. Nobody can hurt you more than you can hurt yourself. And to hold yourself back just because you think that, you know, the cups are spilt. Like, what if those cups was fucking full of poison? They're worthless. It's better off spilt. What you have with you, behind you, is way more valuable because it might be cups with water you can actually drink, you know? So stop crying over spilt milk. What had to go from you has gone. The idea of being out of this level of just real serious pessimism, limitation, doubt, frustration, crying with it, like, this is the kind of stuff that Aquarius season just does not give a fuck about. It's like, this video is dedicated to every Aquarius fuckboy out there. Virgo, go and study an Aquarius fuckboy. They just don't care. There's no emotions involved. There's no emotional attachment involved here because there's almost a wisdom, a smarts enough of knowing that whatever I tie myself down to, whatever I bind myself to, will become very limiting, very, what is the word? Enclosing, suffocating even. Your emotional attachments are suffocating you, Virgo, and there is the sense that comes with Aquarius season that's just not where it's at. It's really not. Okay? And so take that time out this month to illuminate that much for yourself, because 2020 is just starting. The good habits that you set about now, like, start as you mean to go on. Wake up early if that means getting up at 6 a.m. just so you can faff around for 6 hours before you actually get some fucking work done. But do the bloody work. Really clarify yourself. Clarify your intentions for this year. Use this month and this new moon to think outside of the box. Aquarius is the star, the vast expanse, the unlimited potential. So there is no need for you to, like, cap yourself here. This is watery associations to self-sabotage. That's something that needs to be looked at this month and healed, I think, once and for all. This emotional attachment to limitation. And it's very much self-inflicted. And you might find that you are drawing in certain situations or the same type of people where it's like, you know, different people, same situation. That's because there's obviously something here. The answer is just so here. Okay? It's just so here. It's keeping yourself small for no reason. Page of Cups. Now, this came out in your 2020 tarot reading, where we sort of had the bottom of the deck being the overview of the year. Now, for me, when I see the Page of Cups, it is invitations. It's the universe throwing you invitations of making new emotional connections, making new, like, bringing you things to be emotionally excited about. But this is his cup, and he is open, like, he is open to receive from his cup. He is not crying over what was obviously not meant to be, right? Be open this month. Be willing to receive. And I think once you decide, right, this has to stop here, There's no way that if I do this, and I said this to Pisces, and I'll say this to you guys too, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Like, that's not how it works. And if you are open to receiving, like, just put the negativity to one side, just like the jaded and the forlorn Virgo, that pessimism, even the negativity that you have picked up. And I say it to you guys again and again and again, like, clean your energy, go and do the hermit time. And I put a post up yesterday where it's like, Virgo, you kind of do have to play the villain and the hero. And it kind of, this almost reminds me like the American blockbuster movies where like the good guy is actually like the bad guy, because he'll do things that he's really not supposed to do, but it's okay because he's a good guy, so he's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants. But the bad guy is like, should really be the good guy. And it's this bizarre like paradox that 2019 or that last decade might have placed you in. And I think you know how to play the villain, and it's kind of time to understand what the good guy is about you again. Even though you've been the good guy all along, maybe you might not like know it yourself because you're just stuck in this weird fucking paradox where it shouldn't be crying over spilt milk or limiting yourself or not going for and actually achieving what you want. And instead of like suffocating yourself in this weird prison of yourself, which could even be like gaining a whole bunch of weight or not going for the jobs that you know that you like, or just complete isolation from society. Yeah, I get that, but that's a comfort zone. We are the hermit for a reason. It's time to like break out of that a little bit too, I think. Page of Cups, meaning be open and be ready to receive. Just be in receptive mode. Okay, he's got his companion, his little fishes in his cup, and he's like, yo, let's go and do this world thing. Let's go and do this life thing. He's seeking invitations as well as giving. Like, there's a lot of openness, a lot of open energy, a lot of trust in the good, a lot of hope for using positive emotions or expecting to receive positive, warm, welcoming feelings of goodness. And I think this goes without saying, anyone that is sort of indicative of this kind of weird self-view of yourself, like, karma is a big thing, you know, and I don't think people give it as much importance as they should. Like, it's been put there. It's a universal law. And people should ideally live by it. And if you know that you've been hurt or you've been wrong done by, or somebody else is the reason why you are perhaps seeing yourself as less than or whatever, it kind of is a calling now for you to kind of see the good in the world again and maybe put a few bandages over a broken ego or insecurity issues, whatever. What goes around comes around. So if someone's fucking with you, like, of course they're going to get it back. It's just the way of the world. And I don't want to say that, but we need to be reminded of that as a Virgo sometime. Like, you wear your heart on your sleeve, and I personally love that about Virgos. That is very much this Page of Cups. When you've been hurt, when you've had your cups knocked over, when you've been really hard on yourself, it is so important. It is so important to find some truth once again. And a lot of that is in soul searching, knowing who you are, lightening yourself up, right? So, what does that mean? Focusing on your diet, focusing on your health, focusing on your business, your brand, your projects, what you love to do, your passion projects, where is your faith in? Do you need a reboost in your faith? Pray. Go pray. Do some yoga. Stretch those muscles out. Go do some exercise. The best way you can use this Aquarius energy is to move really fast. Think fixed air. It needs a bit of time to ruminate. It needs a little bit of time to maybe take that anxiety that comes from the stillness, the stuckness, etc., and create newness, movement. Okay, so don't stop until you feel ready. Part of that hermiting should be getting in the forest, putting your feet to the ground, running, using this energy, early morning energy. It's yang energy all this year. So there's got to be a certain element of creating from a place of power. I've got the Two of Swords here, and I've got the Two of Pentacles. So playing with the dualities, the wisdom of being and the hope of knowing. Self-defense. Okay. There's two ways that we can look at this card for this month. The self-mastery that is done from knowing yourself, from taking the time to practice what you enjoy doing, and maybe think about what it is that you don't enjoy so much doing, but you know that is indicative in part of the process to what needs to be done in order to, like, the more time you spend working on you, mastering you, your projects, the more time you spend on self-care, knowing yourself, learning to trust yourself again, learning to love yourself again. This can even be knitting. Like, do what brings calm and peace to your mind. You may need to have your wits about you. You may need to keep your defenses up because you might be around energy like this. And I feel as if by the time of your full moon, you'll be a lot more self-aware. And I think where you might have been stuck in a bit of Groundhog Day, I want to say with the Sun in Aquarius and with Mercury in Aquarius, this is thinking outside of the loop, outside of the box. Break the loop, okay? You'll be given a lot of just highly intellectually in tune energy. You will have to think outside of the box. And I think if this is about work, if I'm to relate it to work, then there's a lot of monotonous, serious energy here. And I always believe that work is a lot more productive when it's fun. So maybe find the fun and try and pull the monotonous stuff out of your routine. Try and find the fun in it, but not so much that you're so distracted that you're not doing what you're supposed to. Also, maybe plan and decide where it is your attention needs to go this month. And if you're feeling ambitious and if you're feeling like you want to do a lot this year, get as organized as you can. Maybe this is the time to get finicky about it. Maybe this is the time to look at the dualities of all the different things that you want to do, the pros and the cons, the good and the bad. What are you ready to do? Either way, you have to move. There's movement necessary. And I think that's going to be a massive theme of this month, in a month of stagnant air, fixed air, movement. Don't stay ruminating. Create movement, create flow, create chi. Venus is in Pisces, so with that water behind, I want to say go swimming if you can, or go spend time by a body of water. Break out of the loop. What fascinates you right now? What is it that you're finding interests you, sparks your interest? Newness. There needs to be an idea of breaking away from what you've known, what is preset, what's already existed. Think outside of the box. But even if you do have to be like quite finicky in the planning of your day-to-day, I think set yourself goals that are different. I think you've got to, with the Five of Cups, re-establish a skill set or a talent that you had that you haven't ventured and you possibly could. Either way, just don't stop moving this season. Keep going. Keep going. Virgo. Oh dear. On the floor. Oh, two on the floor. Okay. What do I have? Okay, I have 3 cards here. I have the 8 of Wands, the 6 of Pentacles, and the Emperor card. So, Virgo, 8 of Wands. This is the card of Aries. It is a Mars-oriented card. Mars is currently in Sagittarius. This is information. Arrows. I think arrows. I've got the 6 of Pentacles here. This is not only the card of charity and giving and almost like a rebalancing of the world, but it's also a card of opportunities, financial opportunities. If you have an opportunity to give this month, be it in the name of charity or for the sake of charity, do it. I want to say, just from this card. But I feel as if there will be some sort of significant offer that comes forward to you during this Mars in Sagittarius phase. I think you are naturally going to have a lot of opportunity to shoot those arrows, so get as much done as you possibly can. Information comes forward, opportunities come forward, incentives, creative ideas. There's fire here, so there's creation energy. Ideas, right, like intellectual, pow, 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 pow. It's all coming through. All you have to do is catch these wands, right? Convert these wands to coins. Whatever this is, whatever these ideas are that are coming forward, I think with the 6 of Coins, it puts you in a position of being able to help others, right? Financially, it's rewarding for you also. There is definitely some sort of opportunity here to receive as well as to give. Transactionary energy for sure, but with the scales there, it's a nice balance to it. And if you are in the red, which I think is going to be a very lucky color for you this year, Virgo, know that with the Emperor card, who is also wearing red, you get to adopt a certain level of authority within a system or a structure just from the way you get to process this information that comes forward very quickly to you. So you're going to need to kind of put on a boss hat at the moment. Put on a boss hat and own it. Own this month. Own all of it. Your foibles, where you might need to like really plan and get quite into the details and just do the work. A lot of this is doing the work too. 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords. This is actually being present. and getting involved in everything that needs to get done, because there will be a good reward for it, as long as you're in that position of authority over your tasks and your duties and the things that you need to do, and really taking a lot of that fire energy and just really going for it. Just really pushing through with everything that needs to get done and being on top of all of it. I pulled a card from you from the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck, and the card that came out is the Hope card. And I think this is really significant because for me, hope right now, Virgo, is really all you need. And it's almost like wishing on that star with the Aquarius card, the star card. And it's that faith that gets you, like, you'll be surprised at how far your faith can get you this month. And if you were really to come from that place of your solar plexus, where there is that quiet confidence, but there is that complete humbleness to you, and there is that element of charge, of fire to push you through and get things done, you'll find yourself really rearing to go this month and really full of a lot of charge, hope. And hope really is, the wisdom of the elder in the Aquarius symbology, as well as the water flowing from his vessel, which is fluidity. It's going with the flow. It's, having the emotional intelligence of knowing, of being, of doing, and put that to your approach this season. To book a reading, Virgo, visit Rubyreadstarot.com. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall catch you guys again soon.